Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into something many of you have probably dealt with, toothache, specifically pain linked to infection.
Right, and we've got this source. It's a Spanish text called Dolor Dientes Toothache Infection, and it suggests a pretty unconventional home remedy.
Okay, so what's the core issue it's highlighting?
Well, it starts from a familiar place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tooth pain hits, you think infection, and then, the whole process. Dentist visits, they can be pricey, take time off work.
Yeah, and then maybe painkillers, antibiotics. The source seems to suggest that whole routine is, a bit much sometimes.
Exactly. It points out the inconvenience, the cost, and also, systemic effects. Taking antibiotics affects your whole body, not just the tooth.
Okay, so it sets up that problem. What's the proposed fix then from this source?
It's surprisingly simple. Hydrogen peroxide.
Like the stuff you get at the pharmacy.
Sort of, yeah. But crucially, the source recommends a higher concentration than usual. Talks about 6% or even 9% used as a mouth rinse.
Whoa, okay. That's stronger than the typical brown bottle stuff, right? Which is usually, 3%?
Definitely. Standard mouthwashes, if they even have peroxide, are way lower, maybe 1 to 3%. So this is a key difference.
And the logic behind using the stronger peroxide rinse?
The source's argument is pretty direct. It assumes the tooth pain is very often caused by, an infection. Bacteria, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, swishing with hydrogen peroxide, especially these stronger types, is supposed to create this bubbling action.
Yeah, peroxide does that.
And that action is believed to kind of directly disinfect the area. Get rid of the infection right at the source.
So it's targeting the cause, the infection, not just masking the pain.
That's the claim. And it goes further. The source suggests this isn't just a temporary fix.
Oh, how so?
Well, it claims that for, minor infections, maybe just starting out, a single rinse might actually clear it up.
Really? Just once?
That's what it says. And for infections that are more stubborn, more persistent, repeated rinsing is supposed to lead to a complete elimination. It uses the term radical elimination.
Radical elimination. That sounds quite definitive. Not just relief, but getting rid of it entirely.
Yeah, it's positioning it as a direct attack on the infection itself, potentially avoiding the need for those systemic treatments like antibiotics or even immediate costly dental work.
Does the source offer any, proof or examples?
It includes some anecdotal evidence.
Mm-hmm.
The author mentions sharing this idea and even giving peroxide to colleagues who were suffering from tooth pain.
What happened with them?
Apparently, they were very grateful, experienced significant relief. It's presented as these personal success stories,
Okay, so personal accounts, which are interesting. Definitely paint a picture.
They do. But it's important for you listening to remember that anecdotes aren't the same as, say, controlled scientific studies. They point toward something, maybe, but don't prove it works reliably or safely for everyone.
Right. It's one person's experience and recommendations.
Yeah.
So just to kind of wrap up the source's main argument, it's basically toothache often equals infection. Rinsing with stronger hydrogen peroxide, 6 or 9%, is a cheap, quick, do-it-yourself way to fight that infection directly.
And potentially lets you sidestep the dentist, the painkillers, the antibiotics, at least initially. That's the core idea presented.
So as we think about this, it sounds appealingly simple, maybe too simple.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? It's one perspective. You'd really want to dig into, what does the broader scientific evidence say? Is hydrogen peroxide actually effective against the specific bacteria causing dental infections?
And what about the safety? Using 6% or 9% in your mouth, are there risks? Burning, irritation, that sort of thing. Those concentrations aren't typically sold for oral rinsing.
Exactly. Those are critical questions you need to explore before even considering something like this. The potential benefits need to be weighed against real potential risks.
It definitely leaves you thinking, though. Could simple, available things like this offer alternatives to how we usually handle common health stuff?
It's a provocative thought. What other simple solutions might be overlooked, and how would we rigorously check if they're actually useful and safe? Something to chew on.
Indeed. Thanks for exploring this source with us today.